All right, welcome to Chapter 8, where I'm going to start off by doing some terribly offensive interpretations of people I've not listened to in a long time. Don't tell them I did this. Chapter 8, Sean's shirt is red. Perception, reality, and truth. I recently listened to a podcast wherein the host attempted to make a point about the universal nature of truth by first appealing to what color his shirt is. I think I can help streamline his argument. It goes like this. The scene. Sean is wearing a red shirt and talking to his wife, True Asia, and their friend Cook, aka Cook Dog, aka the Drumma Beast Boy, aka Saint Nick, aka Captain Platypus of Space Patrol. Some of these nicknames might not be accurate, but I haven't listened to this podcast in a while. Sean, my shirt is red. True Asia, no, your shirt is black. Cook, you both be tripping. Your shirt be green. Sean, I think you mean to say you both are tripping. Your shirt is green. Cook, yes, of course. Excuse me. Your shirt is green. True Asia, spoken like a gentleman. There's the metaphysical map again. Where are we at here? All right, so God creates reality, by which I mean creation, both material and spiritual creations, things made by God, who himself is uncreated. So we perceive what is real. We can either perceive it accurately or not accurately. All right, so that's roughly where we are. Step 1, shared perception supports an external reality to be perceived. Fact, they each perceive the shirt differently. Fact, they do each perceive the shirt. Fact, perception requires something to perceive. If the shirt was not real, they would not all perceive it at all. If it were a hallucination, only one of them would perceive it. Dreams and hallucinations are never shared. Thus, a shared perception requires something real to be perceived. Therefore, the shirt is real. The 3 independent perceptions prove it does exist, even though they disagree with some details. It is not an illusion or a hallucination or what politicians and journalists refer to as a press release or the polls or statistics. But I digress. Step 2, the law of non-contradiction means differing perceptions cannot all be true at the same time in the same way. Fact, as we saw in step 1, the shirt actually exists. It is real. Fact, a real object will reflect a certain wavelength of light while absorbing others. In other words, it will be a certain color. See your box of crayons for details. Fact, one color is not another color. Red is not black, green is not yellow, etc. See the labels on your crayons for further details. Therefore, if the shirt is red, it is not black or green. If it is green, it is not black or red, etc. Again, Crayola has given you all the information you need on this or will ever need in convenient boxes of 64 with a sharpener in the back. Sean, True, and Cook cannot all be correct. At least 2 of them must be wrong. Step 3. If one perception accurately describes what is, then differing perceptions must be in error. Fact, if the shirt is red, it is not black or green. Only in a discussion of philosophy would this have to be stated. The world's a weird place, kids. Fact, color is determined by the wavelength of light, not by the perception. A yellow taxi remains yellow, even when no one sees it, or when it is seen by a colorblind person who cannot see the color yellow. His limited perception would not change the wavelength of the light coming from the taxi. Fact, Sean's shirt is reflecting a light wavelength range of roughly 630 to 740 nanometers, which is, and what most human eyes perceive as, the color red. Yes, I looked this up on Wikipedia. Don't you judge me. Therefore, Sean's perception is correct, and his assertion, my shirt is red, is true. Cook and True's perception and or assertions are false. Either they see it incorrectly and are honest about what they see, or they are seeing it correctly but they are lying, or both. Step 4. Different perceptions do not change the reality perceived. Fact, light is necessary for us to see, but we do not need to see light for it to exist. In other words, our perception allows us to be aware of light. It does not make the light. The light exists outside of our perception. Fact, the light reflected by Sean's shirt would remain the same color even if no one saw it, or if no one saw it correctly. A room full of colorblind people might all agree that Sean's shirt is black, but they would all be wrong. it still reflects a light wavelength of roughly 630 to 740 nanometers, aka red. The reality has not changed, but their perceptions cannot accurately see what is real. Therefore, reality, of which light is one part, exists outside of and independent of our perceptions, knowledge, and beliefs. Step 5. Truth is saying of what is that it is, or of what is not that it is not. Fact. Reality is independent of our perceptions, knowledge, and beliefs. Fact. Truth is word or thought accurately reflecting reality, describing what is real. Therefore, truth exists independently of our perceptions, knowledge, or beliefs. Conclusion. Because there are multiple perceptions of his shirt, we know Sean's shirt is real, and there are true facts about it, like what color it is, and false statements concerning it, like saying it is green when it is in fact red. Because there is one reality, of which the shirt and all of us are part, then the truth about the shirt is true for all of us, even if we do not perceive or know or believe that truth. It is true that Sean's shirt is red, even if we do not see, know, or believe that it is, because the truth is not determined by our perception, knowledge, or belief, but by the real shirt. In other words, by reality. In short, there is no true for you. There is real, and if you see real as it really is, you perceive the truth. If you see it as it is not, then you do not see the truth. And that, my friends, is the truth.
Jesus loves you is the message we send. Thanks for letting me be your rental friend. You're listening to Rent a Friend Radio.